Did you know Inter Miami could be just one signing away from unlocking Messi's full magic? For months they've dominated possession, dazzled fans, but somehow the goals haven't come. Every near miss, every lost chance is leaving fans frustrated and rivals breathing easier. But what if the right striker could turn Messi's brilliance into unstoppable firepower? Stay tuned, because this update could change everything you thought you knew about Inter Miami's attack, and you won't believe who's on their radar. We'll explain everything in this video step by step, don't skip it. Lionel Messi, the heartbeat of Inter Miami, might be pulling the strings again. And this time it's about a potential striker signing that has fans leaning forward in their seats. Now let's be honest, we've seen the magic. Messi arrived, flipped the switch, and suddenly Inter Miami went from project to problem for everyone else. Goals, trophies, sold out stadiums, the dream started fast, but even dreams have pressure points, and one of them has been crystal clear: who finishes the chances when the lights are brightest. Inter Miami have fought, scraped, and survived. Some nights they've dazzled, other nights they've struggled to convert dominance into goals. And that's where this interesting update enters the chat, with a grin and a raised eyebrow. Behind the scenes, discussions are heating up. Reports suggest movement, not a done deal, not yet, but enough to send a ripple through the fan base. This potential striker isn't just about goals, it's about balance. It's about giving Messi that one teammate who knows when to run, knows when to wait, and knows that if Messi's on the ball, something special is about to happen. And let's not forget, this journey hasn't been smooth. Injuries, inconsistency, tactical headaches. Inter Miami have had to grind for every inch, but that's what makes this update so juicy, because when a club learns from its struggles, the next move can change everything. Picture it: Messi dropping deep, defenders panicking, and a striker making that ruthless killer run. The kind that turns half chances into headlines. Is this the final puzzle piece? Is this the signing that takes Inter Miami from exciting to unstoppable? Nothing is official yet, and that's what makes it even more thrilling. The waiting, the speculation, the what if. One thing's for sure: when Inter Miami make moves, the football world watches. And with Messi involved, you just know this story is far from over. Stay locked in, because the next update might just shake MLS to its core. Inter Miami are actively exploring a striker signing, not out of luxury but out of necessity. Because as electrifying as Lionel Messi has been since arriving, even football's greatest magician cannot carry an entire attacking system alone every single night. The team has often looked fluid, creative, and dangerous in build-up, slicing through midfields and pulling defences out of shape. Yet too many moments have ended with missed chances or promising moves fading without a decisive finish. This is where the idea of a new striker becomes critical, not just as a goal scorer, but as a tactical release valve that allows Messi to operate with freedom rather than obligation. Right now, Messi is both the architect and, at times, the finisher, dropping deep to create, drifting wide to escape pressure, and still being expected to arrive in the box to complete the move, which places an enormous physical and mental load on a player whose influence is most lethal when he can choose when to accelerate the game, rather than being forced to sustain it constantly. A reliable striker would stretch defensive lines, occupy centre-backs, and create space between the lines, turning Messi's through balls and quick combinations into high-percentage chances rather than hopeful moments. Inter Miami's recent performances have highlighted this imbalance, with spells of dominance that look beautiful on the eye but lack the ruthless edge that separates entertaining teams from champions. The front office understands that maximising Messi's impact is not about surrounding him with stars for headlines, but about building functional chemistry that amplifies his strengths and masks inevitable limitations that come with age and league physicality. A striker who times runs intelligently, presses when required, and finishes clinically would transform Messi from a constant problem solver into a pure difference maker, allowing him to conserve energy for moments that truly decide matches. This pursuit also reflects the club's broader evolution, moving from an expansion identity to a contender mindset where recruitment is driven by fit and function rather than short-term excitement. The coaching staff has reportedly emphasised the importance of profiles that complement Messi's tempo, understanding that his greatest weapon is not speed but timing, not power but precision, and that a striker aligned with those traits could elevate the entire attacking unit. Such a signing would also reduce predictability, forcing opponents to defend multiple threats rather than collapsing solely on Messi, which in turn opens lanes for midfield runners and wide players to contribute more consistently. In a league where transitions are fast and margins are thin, Having a focal point up top who can convert half chances becomes the difference between drawing games you should win and imposing authority over opponents who come to frustrate. Inter Miami's exploration of this signing is therefore less about fixing a weakness and more about unlocking a ceiling that has already been hinted at, where Messi's creativity flows without constraint. The attack breathes with rhythm, and the team's possession finally translates into the kind of scorelines that reflect the dominance seen on the pitch, with moments building, pressure mounting, defenders hesitating, and the sense that something decisive is always just one pass away. The potential move reflects Inter Miami's growing awareness that recent struggles in converting dominance into decisive goals are not isolated incidents but recurring patterns that have shaped the narrative of their season. Match after match, the team has shown an ability to control tempo, circulate the ball with confidence, and pin opponents deep in their own half, yet the scoreboard has not always mirrored that control. Possession has been plentiful, creativity has been evident, and Lionel Messi's influence has consistently drawn defenders out of position, but too often the final action has lacked conviction, timing, or composure. These moments have turned comfortable performances into tense finales, where a single counter-attack or set-piece threatens to undo 90 minutes of superiority. The frustration is not just statistical, but psychological, as players begin to feel the pressure of needing multiple chances to score one goal, while opponents grow belief simply by surviving wave after wave of attacks. This dynamic has exposed the fine margins that separate an exciting attacking side from a ruthless winning machine. Inter Miami's coaching staff and recruitment team have taken note, understanding that dominance without efficiency can quickly become a liability, especially in a league known for its physical transitions and unforgiving momentum swings. The idea of reinforcing the striker position emerges as a direct response to these challenges, a recognition that control must be paired with clinical execution to turn performances into points and points into trophies. When chances are missed, the burden inevitably shifts back onto Messi to create something extraordinary, to bend the laws of the game once more. And while he has delivered time and again, relying on magic alone is not a sustainable strategy. The absence of a consistent finishing presence has allowed opponents to focus their defensive scheme on cutting off passing lanes rather than fearing what happens if the ball reaches the penalty area. Centre-backs can step forward, midfielders can compress space, and goalkeepers can anticipate rather than react, knowing that the final touch may not punish them. This has gradually narrowed the margins within which Inter Miami operate, turning matches they should close early into battles of attrition. The proposed signing is therefore as much about restoring fear as it is about adding goals, reintroducing uncertainty into opposing defences that have grown comfortable absorbing pressure, a striker who thrives on limited touches, who attacks the 6-yard box with instinct and aggression, forces defenders to make decisions under stress, which in turn creates the chaos that attacking teams crave. By addressing this issue head-on, Inter Miami signal a shift from learning experiences to decisive action, acknowledging that progress at the top level demands adaptation as much as ambition. The struggles in front of goal have become a mirror reflecting what the team must evolve into, a side that not only controls matches but dictates outcomes, where dominance feels suffocating rather than fragile, and where missed chances no longer linger as regrets but are replaced by celebrations that reward the work done in every other phase of play. Adding the right striker could unlock a new attacking dimension for Inter Miami, transforming the way the team functions around Lionel Messi and elevating their overall offensive output to an entirely new level. Right now, Messi's brilliance carries the weight of the attack, orchestrating moves, threading passes through congested defences and attempting to create scoring opportunities not just for himself, but for teammates who may not always be in the right position to capitalise. While his presence alone is game-changing, football is ultimately a team sport, and even the greatest players benefit exponentially when paired with partners who complement their style, understand their tendencies, and can finish with precision under pressure. The right striker is not merely a goal-scoring option, they become a pivotal piece in the tactical puzzle, someone who can stretch defences, exploit gaps, and maintain movement that makes Messi's job easier and more effective. This is especially crucial in high-stakes matches where opponents are prepared to absorb pressure and neutralise individual brilliance. A striker with intelligence, timing and positional awareness can force defenders into difficult decisions, creating space for Messi to operate in areas where his influence is most devastating. By occupying defenders, making runs that pull markers out of position, and anticipating Messi's passes instinctively, such a player transforms a static attack into a fluid, dynamic and unpredictable threat. Beyond the immediate tactical benefits, adding the right striker also has psychological implications for both Inter Miami and their opponents. For Messi, it reduces the constant pressure to be the sole creator and finisher, allowing him to focus on moments of true impact, moments where his vision, creativity, and finishing instinct can decide games. For opposing teams, it introduces an additional worry, another element to track, which can disrupt defensive cohesion and force them into reactive play. Inter Miami struggles in converting dominance into goals have highlighted how crucial this missing link can be. Matches where possession, control, and chances abound often end with a sense of frustration or unfinished business simply because the team lacks a reliable finisher who can capitalise on Messi's creativity. The addition of a striker capable of complementing Messi would not only address this inefficiency, but also amplify the entire offensive unit's effectiveness, turning sequences of promising build-up into decisive outcomes more consistently. It would create a dual threat that keeps defences guessing, allowing wingers, midfielders, and even full-backs to exploit the space that opens up when attention is divided between Messi and a dangerous striker. Recruitment for this position requires meticulous attention to style, temperament, and adaptability, ensuring that the player integrates seamlessly into a system that already revolves around a generational talent. This is about more than scoring goals. It's about creating synergy, balance, and cohesion that magnifies the impact of every attacking action, turning moments of brilliance into sustained pressure, fleeting chances into consistent results, and giving Inter Miami a platform to evolve from a side reliant on Messi's genius into a fully rounded, lethal attacking force capable of dominating matches consistently. This update signals Inter Miami's ambition to evolve from an exciting project into a dominant, title-challenging force, reflecting a broader vision that extends far beyond individual brilliance or short-term success. Since Lionel Messi's arrival, the club has experienced a surge in attention, ticket sales, and global recognition, transforming from a team known mainly within MLS circles into a club with worldwide visibility. But ambition is measured not by headlines or fanfare alone. It is measured by results, consistency, and the ability to convert potential into achievement. Inter Miami's leadership clearly understands this distinction, recognizing that while Messi provides unmatched quality and influence on the pitch, sustainable dominance requires strategic reinforcement across all positions, tactical cohesion, and depth that allows the team to withstand the inevitable challenges of a long season. The pursuit of a potential striker signing underscores this philosophy, signaling that the club is willing to invest intelligently to address specific weaknesses and complement existing strengths. The update also highlights an understanding of the competitive landscape in Major League Soccer, where teams have become increasingly savvy, disciplined, and physically prepared. Dominance cannot rely solely on a single superstar. It must be built on a foundation of players who contribute to a coherent system, who understand each other's tendencies, and who can perform under pressure in critical moments. By targeting a striker who can finish chances, create space, and maintain high-level consistency, Inter Miami are not just filling a roster spot. They are strategically augmenting the attack to ensure that Messi's influence is maximised and that the team as a whole becomes more difficult to defend against. Beyond tactical considerations, this move also sends a strong message to players, fans, and competitors alike. Inter Miami are not content to be a fleeting sensation or a team that thrives only when conditions are perfect. They are signalling that they intend to compete for trophies, challenge established powers, and build a reputation for sustained excellence in the league. This ambition requires balancing patience with decisiveness, recognizing the value of developing young talent and cohesion, while also acting decisively in the transfer market to address gaps that could hinder progress. Every acquisition, tactical adjustment, and performance on the field is a statement of intent, reflecting a club culture that prizes preparation, adaptability, and high standards. The potential striker is more than just a player. He represents a step towards structural growth, a piece of the puzzle that could help Inter Miami translate moments of promise into tangible success, whether that means winning matches convincingly, securing playoff positions, or challenging for MLS Cups. In this context, Messi remains central, but he is no longer the solitary fulcrum of the team's ambition. Instead, his presence can be amplified, supported, and protected by a squad designed with purpose, a team capable of turning individual brilliance into collective achievement. Inter Miami's approach demonstrates an understanding that ambition without action is only aspiration, and action without strategy is wasteful. This update, therefore, is a window into a club that is thinking holistically about its future, aiming to build not just a competitive side, but a team capable of imposing itself on the league consistently, setting a